to CBSE Plus 2 English. You people all know that we have already started the lesson, The Enemy, written by Paul S. Buck, and 2 parts it's got over. Okay, today we're gonna discuss the 3rd part of the story. Please do cooperate because it's a bit lengthy lesson. Okay, shall we begin? If you are ready, let's get started. Said Awo, Yumi tells me the servant feel they cannot stay if we hide this man here anymore. She said, she tells me that we are saying that you and I were so long in America that we have forgotten to think of our own country first. They think we like Americans. It's not true, Sadao said harshly. Americans are our enemies, but I have been trained not to let a man die if I can help it. The servants cannot understand that, she said anxiously. No, he agreed. Neither seemed able to say more, and somehow the household dragged on. The servants grew more watchful, their courtesy was as careful as ever, but their eye were called upon the pair to whom they were hired. It is clear what our master ought to do, the old gardener said one morning. He had worked with flowers all his life and had been a specialist to moss. For Sadao's father, he had made one of the finest moss gardens in Japan, sweeping the bright green carpet constantly so that not a leaf or a pine needle marred the velvet of its surface. My old master's son knows very well what he ought to do, he now said, pinching a bud from a bush as he spoke. When a man was so near death, why did he not let him bleed? That young master is so proud of his skill to save life that he saves any life, the cook said contemptuously. She split a false neck skillfully and held the fluttering bird and let its blood flow into the roots of a wisteria vine. Blood is the best of fertilizers, and the old gardener would not let her waste a drop of it. It is the children of whom we must think, Yumi said sadly. What will be their fate if their father is condemned as a traitor? So my dear children, Sadao came out of the room. He met Hannah there and came to know that Hannah was in trouble. What was the trouble? There only we stopped in the previous class. Okay, what was the trouble? Yes, Hannah says that the servants, they cannot stay with them there. Okay, why? Because Hannah and Dr. Sadao kept their enemy in their home, okay, and both of them were long been in America. That's why they like Americans. They forgot about their patriotism and even their country Japan, okay. That's why they just were taking care of the enemy American, okay, there at home. That's why the servants were not ready to stay with them. That was the problem Hannah met with, okay. So Sadao said that was not true, okay. We don't like this American, okay. Not only this, Americans are our enemies, but what I do is that I'm a doctor. If I'm able to help or if I'm able to save a life, I must do that only I learned, okay. Whoever it is, whether it is enemy or whoever it is, whoever come in front of me, if I'm able to save the life, I must do that only I learned that, or that's what I did. That was the reply given by Dr. Sadao to Hannah. So Hannah immediately replied that, okay Sadao, I can understand, but the servants can't, okay, we cannot convince them. They say that we like Americans, that's why we kept this American at our home, okay, like that Hannah said. And that time the different opinion from the servants it came, okay. First the gardener says that our master should not do such thing, okay. That was the words from whom the gardener says that Sadao should not help the enemy, okay. If he is bleeding means let him bleed and die, okay. Why should save an enemy? That was the opinion of the gardener. And the gardener was old gardener. I told you in the beginning, when Sadao's father was there, that time onwards the gardener was there in Sadao's house. Clear? So the gardener was very specialist, okay. He was the specialist in moss garden. He know how to make the moss garden and all, and every time even a small thorn also should not come to that moss garden, because people know that the leaves of the moss is very soft like a velvet, okay. So he just used to take care of the garden very carefully. When Sadao's father was there, that time he made a most beautiful moss garden, okay. And from that time onwards, the gardener was there with them. Clear? Now he says that our master, Dr. Sadao, should not save the life of that American. If he bleeds, let him bleed and die, okay. But he is trying to save that. The old gardener cannot, cannot accept it. That was the situation. And second, the cook That time Cook also gave one opinion that time. Okay, what was Cook's opinion? You know, Cook was just killing a bird for their food. Okay, and every time whenever you know that we just used to eat chicken and all like that, they also used to eat birds meat and all. So the cook was just killing a bird for their meat, and every time whenever he killed a bird, he used to just let the blood go through the garden. Okay, because he considers that blood is a good fertilizer. That's why. So now also he did that only. He killed a bird for the food and he let the blood go through the wisteria vines in the garden. Understood? And that time the cook said that our master is so proud, Sadawa is so proud, okay, because he can save all lives. He's an expert doctor, skillful doctor. That's why he wanted to show in front of others that I can save lives, okay. He's so proud. That's why only he just did that. He saved the American. That was his opinion. Whose opinion? Cook's opinion. So we got two opinions, okay. One is from Gardner and the second one is from the cook, okay. And third one, here comes the Yumi, okay, the female servant. She said that this is the most dangerous opinion, okay. What she said, you know that? See, we must think of the children, okay, Sadao's and Hannah's children. We must think of them. When they grow up, if the people call them as their traitors' children, means that now Dr. Sadao is keeping an enemy at their home, okay, and he is trying to cheat or deceive their country. So he is a traitor. Traitor means cheater only. When they grow up, they will come to know that they are the children of the traitor or the cheater, how their future would be. That was the opinion or the remark given by Yumi. That was really dangerous. She called Dr. Sadao as a traitor. Okay, so that was the remark given by Yumi. These three different opinions Hannah got from the servants. Servants were not ready to stay with them, and the household was started dragging. Okay, they just stopped working and all because either they want to get rid of this enemy or they want to go out of the house. That was the situation. They did not try to hide what they said from the ears of Hannah as she stood arranging the day's flowers in the veranda nearby. And she knew they spoke on purpose that she might hear. That they were right, she knew too in the most of her being. But there was another part of her which she herself could not understand. It was not sentimental liking of the prisoner. She had come to think of him as a prisoner. She had not liked him even yesterday when he had said in his impulsive way, anyway, let me tell you that my name is Tom. She had only bowed her little distant bow. She saw hurt in eyes, but she did not wish to assuage it. Indeed, he was a great trouble in this house. As for Sadao, every day he examined the wound carefully. The last 6 stitches had been pulled out this morning, and the young man would in a fortnight be nearly as well as over. Sadao went back to his office and carefully typed a letter to the chief of police reporting the whole matter. On the 21st day of February, an escaped prisoner was washed up on the shore in front of my house. So far he typed, and then he opened a secret drawer of his desk and put the unfinished report into it. These were the opinions made by the servants, okay, and you know, they did not tell this opinion secretly, okay, they just express everything, whatever they just thought, everything they express in front of Hannah, because their intention is that Hannah must hear their words, okay. So Hannah was arranging flowers for the morning. You people know that foreigners used to keep flowers every morning. They used to give fresh flowers, okay. So she was arranging the morning flowers, okay, for the flowers. That time these three servants made these comments, okay, because their intention is that Hannah must hear it, okay. And even Hannah heard those words, okay. It was really painful for her, but she knows that what they made, the comments, that is true only. At the same time, even Hannah also doesn't like the American, even Sadao, okay. They both consider him as their enemy only. At the same time, no other way, that's why only they just helped. And even that man, the American, also was in a great trouble staying in a Japanese house, okay. We should consider his mental condition also, because he doesn't know that what is going to happen and all, and he is staying in his enemy's house. Clear? So even he is also in trouble, and the people, those who are there at home, they also are in trouble. That was the situation. And yesterday Hannah just started thinking about one incident. Yesterday he went to this American's room, okay. That time the American tried to speak to her, okay. He started saying like this, my name is Tom. So for the first time he revealed his name is Tom. And that time also Hannah did not reply anything, just simply she just was standing there and looking at him and all, and she did not give that much importance to that talking and all, okay. So when the American came to know that she is not interested to talk, okay, he just kept silence, and that time the pain Hannah saw in his eyes, means that you know that he was in trouble really, that pain, he doesn't know what is going to happen to him and all, so that pain he hid in his eyes, okay, that Hannah just came to know that that was the situation, clear. But nobody can understand that how they are going through the situation and all. Everybody started blaming Hannah and Sadao, clear. So different problems arose in their house, clear. And every day as a doctor, Sadao used to go to that American's house and then observe him or examine the wound and all. And even now the last stitch also had been pulled out, okay. And Sadao as a doctor, he came to know that in a fortnight, means that within the period of 14 days, sure the American prisoner would be alright, okay, perfectly alright. That was the situation. And now the last stitch also had been pulled out, I told you. Now almost everything is okay, and he'll just gain the health within 14 days. That was the situation. Now Dr. Sadao went out of the room and he just directly went to his office room. Whose office room? Sadao's. And he took the paper and started typing a letter to the chief of the police, okay, reporting what are the incidents happened till now, okay. He started typing, okay. This was the sentence, how he started, you know. On the 21st day of February, an American prisoner was washed up on the shore and just came to my doorsteps. Like that he just typed, okay, because he wanted to inform this to the chief of the police, what are the incidents happened. That's why he started typing the letter. This was the sentence. On the 21st September, an American prisoner was washed up in the shores and came to my doorsteps. He just typed this much, okay, but he was unable to complete the sentence, okay, and he took that paper, unfinished letter, and kept inside his secret drawer. On the 17th day after that, two things happened. In the morning, the servants left together, their belongings tied in large square cotton kerchiefs. When Hannah got up in the morning, nothing was done. The house not cleaned and the food not prepared, and she knew what it meant. She was dismayed and even terrified. But her pride as a mistress would not allow her to show it. Instead, she inclined her head gracefully when they appeared before her in the kitchen. And she paid them off and thanked them for all they had done for her. They were crying, but she did not cry. The cook and the gardener had served Sadao since he was a little boy in his father's house. And Yumi cried because of the children. She was so grieving that after she had gone, she ran back to Hannah. If the baby missed me too much tonight, send for me. I'm going to my own house and you know where it is. Thank you, Hannah said smiling, but she told herself she would not send for Yumi. However, the baby cried. She made the breakfast and Sadao helped with the children. Neither of them spoke of the servants beyond the fact that they were gone. But after Hannah had taken morning food to the prisoner, she came back to Sadao. Why is it we cannot see clearly what we ought to do? She asked him. Even the servants see more clearly than we do. Why are we different from other Japanese? Sadao did not answer. But a little later, he went into the room where the prisoner was and said briskly, today you may get up on your feet. I want you to stay up only 5 minutes at a time. Tomorrow you may try it twice as long. It would be well that you get back to your strength as quickly as possible. On the 7th day of this incident, okay, two things happened in Sadao's house, okay, two special things. First thing, okay, what was happened there? The first one we'll discuss, that is, when Hannah woke up and went to the kitchen, she saw that all the works were pending, okay. Yumi or the other cook or gardener, they didn't do any of their work. Everything was pending. So Hannah came to know that the servants have decided something, okay, that she clearly understood. And that time the three servants came, okay, they bundled everything, their belongings and all, they bundled in a square kerchief and they were ready to go out of the house. That was the situation. So Hannah just gave them, paid them off, okay, their service and all, some money wants to pay, so she just gave them, paid them off and thanked them for their long service, okay. What they have done for Hannah and Sadao, for that Hannah thanked the servants, because Hannah knows that she cannot stop them, clear. That's why she paid off and then said thanks also, clear. And that time the three were crying. Even the servants actually, they did not want to leave the house. Only because of that American, their enemy is there. That's only because of that they wanted to go out of the house. Okay. At the same time, they three were just crying. Okay, they don't want to leave. Like, okay. And anyhow, they decided to go. Hannah also did not say anything. They just started moving. That time, they just moved forward, okay? And immediately what happened, you know, Yumi just came back to Hannah. She was crying very badly and she said that, see, Hannah, I'm just, you know that babies, they will cry today, sure, okay? Because Yumi used to take care of them. Now Yumi is going, okay? So, if the baby cries, you must call me. You know that I'm going to my own house only. You know where it is. So, night, if baby cries, you must call me. I'll come back. Like that, Yumi said, okay? Because she is very much attached with them. That's why she is not ready to leave the house. But the situation demands. That's why she just left the house. So what she said before going, yes, you must call me if the baby cried. You know where my house is. Okay, that was her words. And Hannah just shook her head, agreed, okay, I'll call like. But when they left, Hannah herself said that if the baby cries also, I would not call you back, people. Like that, she just decided. Because she's a mistress, okay, she just wanted to show that proud, okay, that's why she just agreed herself that I would not call if the baby cries also. That was her decision. And anyhow, that day, Hannah and Dr. Sadawa together, they did all the household works. She cooked food for them and then Sadawa helped with children. He only did all their baby's duty and all. Who did? Sadawa. Okay, and after completing morning work and all, Hannah came to Sadawo. Okay, and until that time, they both did not talk even a single word. But when she finished all the work, she came to Sadawo and asked him that, what are you going to do with this man? Okay, everyone, even the illiterate people, those who were there here at our home, okay, the servants, they can also see the things clearly. Why we cannot see the things, okay, clearly? Why are we different from other Japanese? Everyone, they just have that patriotism. They love our country. They hate the enemies. They hate Americans. But why we people only are doing such things? Why are we different from other Japanese? That was her question, okay? And even Dr. Sadawa also came to know that, okay, something must be done immediately, okay? But he did not speak anything. He went to the American's room. And that time he was there, okay, the American was there. And then Sadawa went and informed him that today onwards, 5 minutes you can just stand up in your feet, okay. You gather the strength and stand up in your feet only for 5 minutes. Today you must do that. And tomorrow you can make it twice, means that 10 minutes you can stand. Like that daily if you prepare and then increase the time, you will be able to get the strength in your feet and you can stand up and walk, okay. That was the exercise given by Sadawa to the American, okay. And American agreed and he just tried his best. He saw the flicker of terror on the young face that was still very pale. Okay, the boy murmured. Evidently, he was determined to see more. I feel I ought to thank you, doctor, for having saved my life. Don't thank me too early, Sadawa said calmly. He saw the flicker of terror again in the boy's eyes, terror as unmistakable as an animal's. The scars on his neck were crimson for a moment. Those scars, what were they? Sadawa did not ask. In the afternoon, the second thing happened. Hannah, working hard on unaccustomed labor, saw a messenger come to the door in official uniform. Her hands went weak and she could not draw her breath. The servants must have told already. She ran to Sadawa, gasping, unable to utter a word. But by then, the messenger had simply followed her through the garden and there he stood. She pointed at him helplessly. Sadawa looked up from his book. He was in his office, the other partition of which was thrown open to the garden for the southern sunshine. What is it? He asked the messenger and then he rose. Seeing the man's uniform, you are to come to the palace, the man said. The old general is in pain again. Oh, Hannah breathed. Is that all? All? The messenger exclaimed. Is it not enough? Indeed it is, she replied. I am very sorry. When Sadawa came to say goodbye, she was in the kitchen, but doing nothing. The children were asleep and she sat merely resting for a moment, more exhausted from her fright than from her work. When doctor was giving this exercise, doctor saw a terror in that American's eyes, okay? Because still the American doesn't know that what the doctor is going to do with him. That's why the terror was there in his eyes. Anyhow, the man started speaking. The American started speaking that he says, thank you doctor, you saved my life, like that he said. Okay, that time Dr. Sadavo said, don't thank me too early, okay, because still I didn't decide that what I'm going to do. Okay, I saved your life, like that way you say, but still I didn't decide. Okay, like that doctor said. Clear? And again doctor saw that terror in his eyes like an animal's. Okay, because you know that if any small animal went in front of lion or tiger, you know that how it will be, like that way the man's expression was, because now also he was totally confused that what the doctor is going to do with him. Okay, that the American doesn't know. So I told you on the 7th day, two special things happened. One is the servants left, and now the second thing is going to happen. Okay. After that, doctor, after giving this exercise and all, after talking to this person, doctor went to his office room and started reading books. Clear? And that time, Hannah was doing some work. Suddenly, Hannah saw that a policeman came to their house. Okay, in official uniform, a policeman came to their house. So Hannah saw that. And she became breathless. Okay, she came to know that the servant went and informed everything, what other things happened in the house. They informed this to police. That's why this policeman came to their house, like that way she thought. And she became speechless and breathless. Okay, and she started moving to the office room because she wanted to inform this to Dr. Sadavo. She went to that office room. Sadavo was reading the paper, and when she started moving, even the police officer also followed her. Okay, so she was not able to say anything to the doctor. So, she just pointed to the policeman. And that time Sadavo was just reading, the partition door was open to the south side to get the southern sunlight, and he was enjoying some books. Okay, that time only Hannah just went and showed the policeman. So Sadavo just looked up and asked what's the matter about to that policeman. So policeman said that, doctor, you must immediately come with me. The general is in danger. Who is that general? In the beginning only we discussed about the general. Now only he is coming again. So don't be confused. Okay, who is that? You know, when Sadavo came from America, actually he wanted to serve in Japanese army, but he did not go. Why? Because the Japanese army general was critically badly injured and he was there in Japan. So our Sadavo got the opportunity to treat that general. That's why he was there in Japan. Okay, that only in the beginning I told you. Do you remember? Yes. So only for that sake only Sadavo was just left there in Japan. He did not go to the army camp. Right. Now that same general is in trouble. That's why this policeman came here to call Sadavo for the treatment. Clear? When the police officer said about the general, that time only Hannah got her breath back. Okay, she said that, oh, this is only the thing, like that way she just asked. Okay, so the police officer got surprised, and then, is it not enough, like that he asked Hannah. So that time only Hannah realized the situation. So Hannah said that, okay, sorry for my mistake. But what she was saying, that is different only. But automatically those words came out and she said sorry. Okay. And now the doctor wanted to go to General's palace. Okay, why? Because he is a skillful doctor. General only believes Dr. Sadavo and he needs him for his treatment. I thought they had come to arrest you, she said. He gazed down into her anxious eyes. I must get rid of this man for your sake, he said in distress. Somehow I must get rid of him. Now Dr. Sadavo went inside to dress himself up to go to the palace. Okay. And after dressing up, he came to the kitchen. That time Hannah was simply sitting because children already slept, and he has completed all the kitchen household work and all. And simply she was taking rest for a moment. And Hannah became more exhausted than from the work. Okay, than work. She became very tensed. Okay, that's why she became very tired or exhausted. Okay, not because of work, because of the tension only she became exhausted. Like that way she was sitting there. And Dr. Sadavo went near to her and said goodbye. Okay, that time Hannah said, I thought that the policeman came to arrest you. The servants went and informed, that's why the policeman came and he came to arrest you, like that way I thought. Hannah said this. From these words, Sadavo came to know that Hannah is in a great tension. Okay, he came to know that. Because there's really a strange situation. So doctor said that, you don't worry Hannah, I'll find a solution find a solution to get rid of this American from our home. Okay, sure, I must find a solution and you will be alright soon. I'll just get rid of this person out of our house, like that he says. Sadao goes to see the general. Of course, the general said weakly, I understand fully, but that is because I once took a degree in Princeton, so few Japanese have. I care nothing for the man, Excellency, Sadao said, but having operated on him with such success. Yes, the general said, it only makes me feel you more indispensable to me. Evidently, you can save anyone, you are so skilled. You say you think I can stand one more such attack as I have had today? No more than one, Sadao said. Then certainly I can allow nothing to happen to you, the general said with anxiety. His long, pale Japanese face became expressionless, which meant that he was in deep thought. You cannot be arrested, the general said, closing his eyes. Suppose you were condemned to death and the next day I had to have my operation. There are other surgeons, Excellency, Sadao suggested. None, I trust, the general replied. The best one have been trained by Germans and would consider the operation successful even if I'm dead. I do not care for their point of view, he sighed. It seems a pity that we cannot better compare the German ruthlessness with the American sentimentality. Then you could turn your prisoner over to execution and that I could be sure you would not murder me while I was unconscious. The general laughed. He had an unusual sense of humor. As a Japanese, could you not combine these two foreign elements? He asked. Sadao smiled. I am not quite sure, he said, but for your sake, I would be willing to try, Excellency. The general shook his head. I had rather not be the test case, he said. He felt suddenly weak and overwhelmed with the cares of his life as an official in times such as these, when repeated victory brought great responsibilities all over the South Pacific. It is very unfortunate that this man should have washed up on your doorstep, he said irritably. Sadao went to see the general, okay, and he just went and observed him, okay, and Sadao revealed everything to the general. General means I told you he's a high rank of army officer, okay. So in front of the general he confessed. Who confessed? Sadao confessed what are the things happened at his home, everything he revealed to the general, because officially he could do that. He is a high rank official, that's why. So he revealed everything to the general, and that time the general said that yes, even I also once been there in Princeton University and took degree from there only, like that way he was just talking. That time Sadao said that not because of that, because the general thought that he was there in America, that's why he showed the sentimentality towards the prisoner, like that way the general thought. So immediately Sadao corrected that, not because of that. Anyhow, he came, not because of that I was in America, that's why I helped him. It's not like that, sir. Actually, he came to my doorsteps, that's why only I know how to operate and all, that's why I saved his life, only I did, that is my profession, like that way he confessed, okay. Now the general said that, okay, I know that you are a skillful doctor, how the patient is that much critical also, you will be able to save their life, I know that, that's why I trust you and I appointed you as my doctor, like that the general said. Anyhow, nothing should happen to you, Dr. Sadao, because I need you for my treatment. If you express this in front of other police or other officials, sure you would be arrested. That should not happen. If you would be arrested and the very next day I need operation, means that nobody would be there. So that's why I'll just protect you, like that way the general said. Immediately Dr. Sadao said, no, if you want you can inform to the police, I am ready to go to the jail, like, okay. So and other surgeons will be there to take care of you, my highness, like that way, who said, yes, Dr. Sadao said. That time the general said that, no, I don't trust anyone, okay. You are a skillful doctor, you got training from the German doctors, okay. When you were in America, you got training from them. German doctors are very good doctors in the world, okay. That's why you got training from them, means you are a skillful doctor, I trust you, I need you for my operation. So nothing should happen to you, I'll protect you, like that, who say, the general said. Clear. And general asked that, see, one question I have to ask Dr. Sadao, if one more attack comes to me, okay, a cardiac arrest or one more come, can I be alive, like that he asked. That meant whether I will be alive or not, like. So Dr. Sadao said that your body cannot bear one more attack, okay. Immediately the operation must be done. That is the suggestion of the doctor. So the general said that, oh, if it is so, sure, I must protect you. Okay. So nothing should happen to you. I'll take care of you. You don't worry about anything else. Because I know that you saved the life of an enemy or the prisoner, and you just tried your maximum to bring him life. So I know that if I am under your arms or I am in your arms, you are doing my operation, you will never kill me. I know it very well because you saved a enemy. So sure, you will save my life. I know that. That's why nothing will happen to you. I'll be there with you. But only one thing I have to tell you, that it is really unlucky that American washed ashore to your doorstep. So many doctors are there, many other people are there. He didn't go there. Instead, he came to your own doorstep. That was really an ill luck. Like that, the general said. I feel it so myself, Saravo said gently. It would be best if he could be quietly killed. The general said, not by you, but by someone who does not know him. I have my own private assassins. Suppose I send 2 of them to your house tonight, or better, any night. You need know nothing about it. It's now warm. What would be more natural than that you should leave the outer partition of the white man's room open to the garden while he sleeps? Certainly, it would be very natural, Sadavu agreed. In fact, it is so left open every night. Good, the general said, yawning. They are very capable assassins. They make no noise and they know the trick of inward bleeding. If you like, I can even have them remove the body. Sadavu considered that perhaps would be best, Excellency, he agreed, thinking of Hana. He left the general's presence then and went home, thinking over the plan. In this way, the whole thing would be taken out of his hands. He would tell Hana nothing, since she would be timid at the idea of assassins in the house. And yet certainly such persons were essential in an absolute state, such as Japan was. How else could rulers deal with those who opposed them? He refused to allow anything but reasons to be the atmosphere of his mind. As he went into the room where the American was in bed, but as she opened the door, to his surprise, he found the young man out of bed and preparing to go into the garden. What is this? He exclaimed. Who gave you permission to leave your room? I'm not used to waiting for permission, Tom said gaily. Gosh, I feel pretty good again, but well, the muscles on this side always feel tough. Is it so? Sadao inquired, surprised. He forgot all else. Now I thought I had provided against that, he murmured. So the general said that, okay, I would help you, I will protect you. Okay, that was the words. And he made a plan. Who made a plan? The general made a plan how to rescue, how to help Sadao. Okay. So he said that, Dr. Sadavo, you don't worry, I'll arrange something. Means I have private assassins, I have private murders, because he is a high rank official. Every time his life is under threat, okay, enemies would be there in and around, okay. So every time these officials used to keep private murders, private assassins with them. If something happens, they will protect them. That's why for that. So general said that I have my own 2 private assassins. I would send them to your home. They would kill the American. Okay, you should not kill him. You should not do anything. My private assassins, my murders would come to your home and they would kill that American. Okay, like that the general made the plan. Understood? And he asked Sadavo that you do one thing, always you keep the partition door open, and night these 2 persons will come and kill the American, okay. And even they are expert in killing, and not only they know that how to make the inward bleeding, means that without shedding a drop of blood outside, only inward bleeding would be there. They know how to kill it, okay, because they are expertise in that, like the general said, okay. And Dr. Sadavo, if you want, they would remove the body from your home. You will never come to know anything, okay, like the general made the plan. Now Sadao also agreed, because he was really relieved. Why? Because you know that he did not want to touch or do anything, okay. 2 persons from outside, they would come and kill this American and then remove the body, okay, and he will be out of danger. Who will be? Dr. Sadao and Hana will be out of danger, okay. That he came to know. He agreed the plan made by the general, okay. So after that he went, Sadao went to his home. He did not say anything about this plan to Hana. He did not discuss anything, and even he did not say a single word. When he really revealed this to the general, that also he did not tell Hannah. Okay, everything he kept himself only. Why? Because about the plan, if he just reveals this to Hannah, Hannah would be really scared. Okay, because she's a woman and she comes to know that murder is going to happen in their house, she would be scared really. Okay, so that's why after the incident, after everything goes well, then only he wanted to tell this to Hannah. That's why he hid this matter from Hannah. When he reached home, he directly went to that American's room. That time, the American man Tom was just ready to go out of the garden. Okay, he gathered all the strength. He started walking. Okay, and he just was about to go to the garden. So Dr. Sadavo saw this and he went and shouted at the man, "Who gave you permission to go to the garden?" You people know that if we go to the garden, other people will come to know that an American is standing there in the garden. Like, okay, so doctor lost the control. He shouted at him that, "Who gave you permission?" That time, Tom, he just behaved like a typical American, that bossy attitude. Okay, what he replied, "I don't wait for anyone's permission." Okay, that is their nature. Americans' nature, we people know that. Okay, that bossy attitude is there. So he immediately that comes out. Okay, so he said that, "I don't go wait for anyone's permission." But immediately Tom realized his mistake. She just covered up. Okay, he said that, "No, I have pain here. That's why," like that way he just covered up. When the doctor heard about the pain, he forgot about all things. He just went and touched the wound and all where it is. Oh, here sometimes this is muscle pain. You do this and that, like that way he gave the suggestion. Because he is a doctor, okay, he cannot kill life. So that's why he just gave that suggestion and all. Understood? And tomorrow onwards, you do this exercise and this muscle pain would be all right. That suggestion he gave to the American. My dear children, what happened then? Yes, I told you this is a bit lengthy lesson, okay? We'll continue soon. Thank you.